Hi, I am Rebecca, and I am here just to show you our memorization setup and review setup as well for our kids. In this video, I'm going to just show you what I already talked about from the audio recordings. This is how we set up our children's systems, and in the next one, I will show you how I set up some things for myself to stay organized. So this is the coupon accordion file organizer thing that I was mentioning in the audio recording. You can find these on Amazon. They can often come in sets with different colors, and they just look like that. So I always label them, and you can see they're attached with this rubber band. They do wear out over time, and so I always keep some extras on hand in case someone's thing breaks. Then inside the folder, I will put a sticky note at the start of the week. I do not do this for my oldest kids because they will kind of make their own schedule for the week, but I do this for anyone who needs the direction, and I just put the date and what they need to learn that day. Then in the box, we have these sections. We have new here and work. The new ones are the passages that are assigned for the week that they haven't memorized yet. Work are passages that they've already learned that just have some spots that really need some attention. RED means recite every day, and we try to just only keep one or two, maybe three passages in there. The really tough ones that, a child might have a lot of difficulty with, and they just need more attention in terms of recitation. Then behind that, we have these review sections. Now, this particular child has a box that has 4 day per week review sections instead of daily. And so we have this section that's Monday through Thursday. And then behind it, we have a section that's Tuesday through Friday. And behind that, we have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday section. And behind that, we have these two sections, Monday and Thursday, and Tuesday and Friday. The way that we move our passages from each section is based on accuracy. And so I'll pull out a card here and show you. When I hear one of my children recite, I take their card and I write the date at the top, and I like to do little colors. You can mark it however you'd like, but it is helpful to have a visual on the card to know how many times this has been recited for you, and also you can see there are some markings here in pencil, so you can mark any errors that there are. When they recite for me, I put the date, and if it's perfect, I circle the date. Then, once they have recited for me perfectly 3 times in a row, this moves from whichever section it was in to the next section. So this was 3 times perfect in a row. It moved from a 4 day per week review into the 3 day per week review. Once this has 3 more times perfect in a row, it will move to a 2 day per week review section. So that's how we move those through. If I have a passage that has had several perfect and then suddenly there are errors, I might move it up into a more frequent review, or I might put it in the work section or the recite everyday section, depending on what kind of attention it needs. One last marking on here that you'll see is this check mark, and that just is when the passage was initially memorized. Our kids will come and recite for us. We call it testing, and they just come and recite, and if we think it's solid enough between my husband and I, whoever's listening to them, we'll put a check mark in the corner to say that they passed this one, and it's just in review now. I find that testing and passing things is helpful because then the kids feel like they're making progress. When we have a lot that are still in the works of being memorized, it can feel like it gets really hard, and some kids get discouraged by that. So I like that we have a final point in the memorization process of saying, okay, you learned this, you've memorized it, it's passed, check, and now we are reviewing, and then we're hearing you recite it and making sure that it stays accurate. So that is that. That's the box, the review box. Now in the back, we have I can get it here. We have all of those new final release passages. This is from one of my junior age daughters. So your primary will not have this many cards in their final release section. The juniors have more cards. That is the review box. And the other aspect is having a schedule. So what I do is I go through, I have the passages organized, and I'll show you that in the next video on with my checklist. And again, this is a junior schedule. This is from my other junior age daughter. I was just borrowing it from her, but the primary one looks very much the same. So I assign passages, a set of passages for the week, and I just put them down there. I put them in Genesis to Revelation order so they're easy to find. That's also how we organize the new cards in the back of their folder. And each week then we'll just say, okay, we're going to learn Hosea 1, 10 through 11 on Monday, and whatever that looks like. For the older kids, they determine when in the week they will learn these. And for the younger kids, I put that little sticky note in the front. You can see it peeking out here, this little sticky note. I kind of break down the assignment there. One last thing here is that I have these passages that have a star, and these are the really long passages. I put this mark for myself so that when I am making memory passage songs, I know that I could work ahead on those long ones and then be able to put those in a playlist, and the kids can listen to them ahead of time so that once they get to memorizing those long passages, they're not unfamiliar with them. And the other thing is also those stars remind me that for my younger kids, when I make the weekly assignment, I might say, now I don't think, none of these passages are primary passages, but let's just pretend they are, and my child is going to be memorizing Romans 1 through 17. Well, I'm probably going to have them learn a certain amount of verses each day from that. And so on this sticky note here, I will say Monday, like this one I said, start Numbers 12, 1 through 8, or I might actually put the verses, the exact verses to learn, and they can check in with me at the end of the day, and you just build a long passage like that, just a few verses at a time. Another option for those long passages is actually to start learning them 1 or 2 weeks before you want them completed. And so you could say, all right, we're learning Romans 1 through 17. We want it finished at the end of week 3 in our study schedule. So let's start it this week in week 1, or let's start it in week 2. So I just use little marks like that to help me stay on top of things. So that is the schedule. This is the review box. And one final thing about review, we definitely prioritize it. It is the first thing that our kids do in the morning after they've gotten ready and all of their kind of morning stuff. They do review before they even start their schoolwork. That way it is finished. Otherwise it can be hard to get to later in the day. So find a time that works for you, whatever that is, find a time that works for you and make sure that you do the review every single day. So next time I will show you how I keep myself organized and how I keep track of kids' passages and the accuracy as I'm listening to them throughout the national season.